Hello, hello, my friends. Something a little bit different for you guys today. I'm not doing my typical Friday 5 because, one, this last week, being that it was the end of the month, I was really trying to finish burning up a lot of candles that I feel like were almost done. You guys know in what I'm doing here, I typically am purchasing a lot of new candles, trying to review new candles, and at the end of the month, in an attempt to not get myself overwhelmed with my collection, I try to take the time to just kind of finish burning up some fragrances that I like and I enjoy, but I'm ready to move on from. I don't want to stick them back into my collection. So I've been doing that this week, and a lot of those candles are fragrances that I've already talked about on my Friday 5 over the last couple of weeks. And last week, I had kind of casually dropped in the video. I said, hey, would you guys be interested in seeing what I have left in my Homeworx collection? So a lot of you guys, not a lot, a couple of you guys mentioned in the comment section that you would really like to see what I still have from Homeworx in my candle stash. So ask and you shall receive. So today's video, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I actually still have 7 candles from Homeworx in my candle stash. And one fragrance is actually a duplicate. I have 2 of them. So I have 6 fragrances here to talk about. And I thought that you guys might find this just a little bit interesting. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this. So if you're new to my channel, you may be wondering, why are you saying what's left of my Homeworx collection? So Homeworx is a brand by Harry Slatkin. It's under the Slatkin & Co. umbrella that I actually have been purchasing from since, I want to say it was around 2018. That was the year, I think they launched the brand in 2017. I started purchasing from them late 2018. I was actually kind of influenced by my friend Melanie, Mr. Kong's mom, here on YouTube. I heard her talking a lot about them. And I bought from them for many, many years. And the truth is, you guys, I still haven't completely sworn off buying from Homeworx. It's just that I have made a transition, I would say over the last year solidly, to purchasing mainly 100% soy wax candles. I've made it no secret here on my channel, I am reviewing a lot of candles, and with the amount of candles that I am bringing into my home and burning, for me personally, I'm not saying that this has to be your decision, but for me personally, I am concerned a little bit about ingredients. And yeah, so I just feel a little bit better about burning 100% soy wax candles that have non-toxic ingredients. And unfortunately, even though Harry comes up with some tremendous blends, the wax formula and the ingredients of Homeworx candles don't really fall into line with what my current preferences are. So I haven't really been purchasing from the brand that much. I did used to be an affiliate with the brand, and I did withdraw that affiliation earlier this year because, again, I didn't feel like it was really ethical, and it felt very disingenuous for me to continue to promote a brand that I personally just wasn't really making a concerted effort to buy from. But with that being said, you guys, these fragrances that I'm going to show you, I did not want to declutter from my stash. And I keep saying stash, you guys, because I am not a candle collector. I don't consider myself to be a collector. A collector is somebody who really accumulates a lot and then they go back and they can reference. I'm not that kind of person. I buy my candles to burn them, and I enjoy them for the time that I have them, and then I move along. But where I was going with this was these were not candles that I wanted to part with. These are fragrances that I really, really love. They are kind of unique to my nose. I haven't smelled anything similar in other brands. And yeah, so here are the candles that I still have in my collection. Why don't we go ahead and start off with the one that kind of kicked off this idea. This is the fragrance Key Lime Cake. I will make sure to include timestamps down below, by the way, you guys. And if there's any way that you can still get your hands on some of these, I'll make sure to have that information all down below, or it might pop up in the YouTube shopping. But Key Lime Cake, I do believe that this is available in a duo over at QVC last I checked. It has fragrance notes of fluffy white cake, tart key lime, orange zest, and vanilla bean frosting. Now, this specific one has a pour date of December 11th, 2024. This is the fragrance that I actually have 2 of these still in my collection. And you guys, this is done so beautifully well. It is definitely that vibrant, zesty key lime, but you get a fluffy note of cake in here as well. I detect a little bit of buttercream in here, but again, it's not like a really heavy vanilla buttercream frosting. This is a lime fragrance. If you're somebody who does not like lime fragrances, you're probably not even going to be interested in purchasing this one, but I love this scent. I believe I initially tried it back in 2024. I want to say that's when it was released. And then last year, I think I might have purchased like 3 of these. I really, really love this scent. It's perfect for this time of year, summertime fragrance. Um, it's one of those fragrances that I pick up and I stick my nose into it and it just makes me happy. So this is, the one that I have been burning in my stash. And like I said, I have one more. But this is an absolutely incredible fragrance that Harry does. And truth be told, you guys, Harry Slatkin comes up with some great fragrances. But one of the scents that I love burning alongside that key lime cake is a fragrance that Harry did in collaboration with Elton John for, it's like their winter collection. This is the fragrance Tangerine Palazzo. Now, Tangerine Palazzo has fragrance notes of tangerine zest, Italian orange, apricot, and sandalwood. I actually initially purchased this vessel back in like the winter of 2024. And then when I was still an affiliate with them, they did offer to send all of their ambassadors a Luxe candle, and they let us choose. And I definitely chose this one because I love this fragrance. So I did finish burning up one of them already. And so this is my second one. But oh man, you guys, this is done so well. This is a tangerine. It's not orange. It's not lemon. It's bright. But it's also light and juicy. It's so beautifully done. Now, if you've ever tried Nest's Sicilian tangerine, which Laura Slatkin, I don't know if she sold Nest or not, but I know Laura Slatkin is married to Harry. So there have been times where I feel like I've seen like crossovers somewhat or like inspiration from each other in their brands. And this kind of reminds me of Nest's Sicilian tangerine, but not quite. I think that it's done a little bit better. I just love this scent so much. I love pairing it with the key lime cake. Oh, it's just so well done. You can see the reflection here from the lid. But you can see I really just have started on burning this one. I've only burned it a couple of times. Now, I will say one of the things about these Luxe vessels is that I do find that they get sooty, particularly the further down that you get in the burn of these candles. But this Tangerine Palazzo is one that I think some of you guys had mentioned that this became available in a smaller sized format on the QVC website, but I do highly recommend it, particularly, again, spring and summer if you're a seasonal burner. This is a perfect, like, May, June type of scent. If you're not somebody who wants all of the tropical vibes, then I would highly recommend it. But here's a candle that does give me somewhat tropical, beachy vibes. And this is the fragrance Warm Vanilla Coconut. So Warm Vanilla Coconut has fragrance notes of vanilla musk, coconut water, neroli blossom, sun-kissed sandalwood. This specific one has a pour date of October 9th, 2024. So one of the things that I will say about Homeworx candles is that I do believe that they increase in their potency, in their projection, their strength, their throw, the longer that I let them sit and cure on the shelf. So Warm Vanilla Coconut is another fragrance that I initially tried in the summer of 2024, and I really liked it, and so I did repurchase it in the summer of 2025. In fact, I think I might have purchased 2 of them, burned through one, and then just kept the other one in my stash. Now, this is a fragrance I am going to tell you by nature, if it's a fresher pour, this one is a little bit lighter. It's kind of one of those musky, borderline sunscreen. Not really though. Like, it's not overly sunscreeny. Say like Yankee Candle's Sun and Sand, I think, is like the epitome of what I think of as like a very like sunscreen forward scent. This to me is more just like musky coconut with a little bit of the neroli in here. There's not a ton of neroli. You get a woody base in there. Yeah, like a sandalwood. It is. It's more beachy. This just reminds me of actually what you see on the picture here, which I do love the Homeworx photographic labels too. I think that these provide beautiful ambiance when they're lit. But yeah, Warm Vanilla Coconut. I like this one because one of the things that you will come to find about me if you're new here is that I like fragrances that are versatile. that can they can blend well with a lot of other fragrances in my candle collection, because I typically like to burn 2 or 3 fragrances at a time throughout different points in my house. And I don't like to move from room to room and have those fragrances clash. I like them to complement each other. And I feel like warm vanilla coconut just goes so nicely with a lot of other fragrances that I am usually burning in the summertime. So warm vanilla coconut is another one that I did not want to let go of. Now we're going to transition into, I have the last 3 are definitely more like fall, winter types of fragrances. We're going back to another Luxe candle, and this is one that I feel like this is one of the most well-known. When people talk about Homeworx, particularly in the fall, they talk about this fragrance, which is Harvest Leaves. So you can see I am at about the halfway point on burning this candle. Oh man, every time I smell it, I'm like, oh, it's so good. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever go in like when you're like, again, some people are not seasonal burners. I am. Every once in a while when I am, like, say it's in the middle of the summer, I will go in and just start smelling my fall candles or start smelling my Christmas candles that I have set aside, because it just makes me happy. It makes me excited for the season coming ahead. Um, but yeah, Harvest Leaves has fragrance notes of spiced pumpkin, mandarin, cranberry, fir balsam, applewood. This also has a pour date of May 9th, 2024. So this one's almost 2 years old now from the pour date. Oh, but this one, I know there's some people who say they don't get the hype on this one. I love this. And it's funny because I've never really considered myself somebody who loves like cranberry type of fragrances. But ooh, I love this one. My arm's getting tired trying to hold it up. Um, you get cranberry, but you also get a little bit of spiced pumpkin in there. This is one of my favorite fragrances, truly, to burn. Like, I burn this usually like mid-September through October. This one is so versatile. I feel like you can even carry this one into the holidays and burn it alongside like a tree scent going into November. You're getting ready for Thanksgiving, but you're not quite somebody who wants like all the gourmand that comes with a lot of Christmas scents. It's just so beautifully done. I don't feel like I need to describe Harvest Leaves too much, because I think it is kind of like one of the flagship fragrances for the brand. It seems to come back year after year, but that is a beautiful fragrance. Another one that I have just in my backup stash from last year, but I don't want to part with, is Pumpkin Cold Brew. Now, again, I feel like a lot of these I tried initially in 2024. 2024 must have been like the year that I really loved some of these fragrances. But sweet pumpkin, espresso, toffee, and vanilla cream. So this one, you guys, I didn't even burn. I got it last year and I didn't even burn. I think I might have gotten like 2 of them. Um, this to me is just, I love this one, like on those cooler fall mornings. I live in a climate where I honestly don't get traditional fall. I live in Arizona. We don't get fall, not here in the desert. But by like late October, it might cool down a little bit in the mornings. Still not traditional fall, but this is cozy. I do detect some coffee in here, but this is not an overly pungent coffee note like how they say pumpkin cold brew. Now, I'm not familiar with all of my coffee scents because I don't drink coffee. I like the smell of it, I just don't drink it. Um, I get a creaminess of like a pumpkin spice in here. And then the toffee note in here is really, really well done. It kind of just gives a little bit of something extra. I've mentioned this time and time again, but there is something about this fragrance that is oddly nostalgic to me. I actually think of when I was around 15, 16 years old. My mom had to have had a candle that smelled somewhat like this, because this triggers back a fragrance memory to me of that time in my life every time I smell this. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I could not let this one go. But pumpkin cold brew. And then the last candle that I have in here, you guys, feel free to comment down below what you think it might be. I think that I might surprise some people with what candle this is, and yet also at the same time, I don't think I will, because this fragrance is kind of a polarizing scent. This is not a fragrance that I think everybody would like. This is kind of like a very niched down fragrance, but I love it. I love this scent. This is a very, very nice scent, and I will not be parting with it. What fragrance am I talking about? Also in a Luxe, Black Tie. Now, Black Tie has fragrance notes of patchouli, aged bourbon, Palo Santo, smoked vanilla bean, This one has a port date of April 26th, 2024. Now, the reason why I say that this is not for everybody, this I call this my James Bond candle. I feel like this is what James Bond would smell like. It has, you smell the Palo Santo in there, kind of that like resinous, slightly sweet, woody accord. Bourbon for sure, but it's sweet. It's this is not as maybe as like a dry candle as say like Kringle had a candle in a Halloween collection 2 years ago called Skull and Sonnet, which kind of reminded me of replica, a discontinued fragrance they have called Whispers in the Library. It's kind of, it reminds you of like kind of being in like dark academia type of vibes. This is a little bit sweeter, I would say. I get that aged bourbon in here, but the Palo Santo note in here is more of like a sweet resinous wood, but there's a little bit of smokiness. Um, I just, I picture a very sophisticated man when I smell this. I don't get mahogany or anything like this, but this is definitely like a boozy, sophisticated, like New Year's Eve, somebody dressed in a tux, but then they're going to retire with their smoking jacket and they're into their library with their glass of bourbon. You get vanilla in here as well, but again, it's not that like bakery gourmand vanilla. It's almost like not a vanilla extract, but maybe, I don't know. I'm looking at the notes again on this one. Vanilla bean. Oh, it's just good. And of course, patchouli, because there is like a perfuminess to this. I love this scent. Oh my goodness, that is just so well done. And that is one typically that I like to burn in the evenings, usually like in the fall and winter. So not a very long video, not a very large collection, you guys, but these are the ones that I do not see myself parting from. These are ones that I would definitely, definitely hold on to. If you like to shop from Homeworx, and maybe if we have some similar fragrance preferences, other candles that I still love from them and highly recommend. Hot Cider Donut. There's a reason why that one has been around for so long, you guys. That is a fantastic like fall type of fragrance. I call it a Disneyland candle. It reminds me kind of a little bit of the churros when I'm walking down Main Street at Disneyland. I love limoncello cupcake. It's probably still my number one lemon gourmand fragrance. It's airy, it's fluffy, it's got that sweet, zesty lemon. I do like limoncello cupcake. Banana daiquiri. I don't know if that one is back on the website right now. I do like that fragrance quite a bit. Yeah, we talked about Harvest Leaves. Autumn Pumpkin. Autumn Pumpkin's another beautiful one from the brand. There's quite a few fragrances from them that I feel like are just such beautiful, well done scents. And again, I haven't sworn off purchasing from them. In fact, at the time that I'm filming this, I know that they're running kind of like a I don't know if it'll still be going on. I'm filming this a few days ahead of time, but they might be, they're running a Mother's Day sale. And part of me is like, maybe I should go take a look. Is there anything else on there that I want to purchase? Because like I said, there are some fragrances that I really, really like from the brand. But again, I've got so many candles to try, and I'm always finding new stuff that I love. But anyways, you guys, let me know in the comment section down below if any of these ones are your favorites, or if you have familiarity. What do you think? I would be curious to know. Again, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.